Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Definitely. Okay, here we go. If you want Rose of Sharon in a shrub, in the most beautiful color combinations you've ever seen.
The best.
And really, any of you who love your purples and these beautiful kind of pinks, this is what you're gonna get. It's the 2-piece Dazzling Designs, brand new and only quantities of the season. So when this sells out, that's it, and it's gone. $36.12. So you've got beautiful hot pink with deep red, and then lavender, lilac with a crimson center. Beautiful in a shrub.
Well, and also this is part of our Dazzling Designer series. This is what we do. We put the right plants together. They have similar growth habits, which means one's not going to outgrow the other one. If you've seen our braided tropical hibiscus trees, well, they meld together quite nicely. That's the way we grew these, except guess what? You don't ever bring these in. They stay outside all of the time. They bloom like this. The butterflies, the hummingbirds, and the photographers will show up for this. I have never seen these grown together like this. The perfect colors, and they are tough as a daylily.
Oh, real? Okay, now I like that. So where do these grow? What do we need to know?
Full sun to part shade in a container or in the ground. You can keep them as shrubs, say at about 4 feet tall, or if you want to, let them grow into a hedge. These will get 8 feet tall. If you bought more than one collection, you can plant a wall between you and your neighbors or at the base of your deck area. Where you look over the deck railing. These bloom all summer. This is the only small flowering shrub that will turn into a tree that we offer that blooms all summer. This never stops blooming. Think about the shrubs that you have that bloom all summer. Butterfly bush?
Yes.
Name another one.
Sheesh.
There's almost nothing. You've got roses, and then you've got these, the lowest maintenance of all the flowering shrubs and the biggest flowers.
Absolutely gorgeous, and they really have that beautiful tropical look when we're talking about Rose of Sharon, and you're getting the set of 2.
Yes.
Is this the first season or second?
Second season, yours will be like this, but let me just tell you, you don't have to do any of the mixing and matching. You've got the 2 different colors in each pot that I ship out to you. They're gonna bloom this season, and you're thinking, well, I don't know
already
about
done.
that. Let me just show you how big they are I'm shipping out. Jackie, this is the way they're coming out to you. And just to show you, we'll hold that one for me just a second, please. I'm just gonna show you, look down in here. You can see that I've got the 2 different plants in here.
Hold on.
And the branches are already crossing one another.
I got right here, look right here.
This becomes your flower arrangement, and it will grow again in the soil that's not so great, like where the daylilies grow. If you've ever had Rose of Sharon before, this is just as easy as those muddy lavender ones, except you've got these colors.
Can we put them in pots like this too?
They're fabulous in pots, and I've used them in New York when I started my career in Manhattan many years ago designing rooftop gardens. And I use these. I also use these on the shore. I use these on some of the barrier islands because it's one of the few flowering shrubs that will also take salt spray. If you live in an area that gets salt spray, we talked about how the daylilies will tolerate salt. These also will tolerate the salt. Look at the color. That's all summer. That's not just a spring bloomer. It is all summer, all the way to fall. You want a lot of color and something that gets kind of nice sized. This is the way.
That is beautiful. I mean, and talk about gorgeous. And for those of you getting with this spread 8 to 10 feet high with a 6 to 8 foot spread, how often do we need to fertilize these?
Well, I fertilize mine about once every 3 weeks.
What do we feed them?
These. Our General Bud and Flower Booster, again, a top-rated fertilizer. It's a good way to go to get them established. But these are not bare root when they come. They're in an active state of growth. There's a gorgeous Aphrodite, and it's got that ruby eye to it and that beautiful, perfect pink out on the outside edges. This is rich, saturated color, and the bright lavender blue of the blue marlin, which also has that ruby eye to it, which ties the whole thing together. But it looks like exotic birds have landed in your garden.
Right. Now, when we're talking about sun, what kind of sun does it like? Because it does like some shade.
Full sun to part shade.
Good.
And again, I use them all the time. At my house here in Westchester, Pennsylvania, I had them beneath my bedroom window. I've got a big long window, and I planted mine as a hedge. I planted 6 across there, because I try everything first.
Absolutely.
And I've got 6 across there, and all summer long these are blooming. All my other flowering shrubs, you know, like the forsythia and the spirea and the quince and all that, they're gonna all be finished within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then these start, and they bloom all summer long. If you're just counting on your perennials and your annuals to give you the color, it's too short. You've got to have something that's going to give some height and some umph to the garden so you're not watching your feet while you're walking through the garden.
Absolutely. We got another 600 people on the phone lines trying to pick these up. These are the only quantities for the season. They are brand new. You're going to get 2 of them. So if you're thinking about staggering these out, you need to put in your order for more than 1 set. You've got that growing guarantee from Cottage Farms, M46325, brand new as our hot pick. And I was just thinking, for the perfect place that I have, it's up on a higher ledge where Grace doesn't jump, because Grace, our dog, likes to eat everything. And I was just thinking, and it's also an area where no deer or anything else can get into them. Oh, this would be perfect.
And I have to tell you, I swear by these. I've always had them in my garden, but the ones I had were typically the lavenders or the whites or the pale pinks. These are rich, saturated colors. We chose these for the color and also the fact that they're compatible sizes. That's why they work beautifully. One will not overtake the other. If you want to plant what I would call a deciduous tapestry hedge. And I design tapestry gardens all the time, often with different colored evergreens. This is a chance to have a flowering shrub border that is a tapestry border where all of these colors are together, and everyone will think that the one plant is made the 2 different colors, and that's Dazzling. And they'll want to know how you did it.
And they will, absolutely. And those of you who are picking these up, you're going to get the dynamic duo here with the dynamic duo inside both of them. But this is it. We have one order only for this growing season. They're going to ship out to you at the right time to plant, which for most of you is already happening right now. For the rest of you, it's going to be through the month of May. Absolutely gorgeous with the sun to the partial shade. The color is absolutely just going to knock you out.
It really will, and you don't have to spray these for anything. You know, a lot of things in the garden that are beautiful, you've got to spray, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. This is low maintenance, and like the daylily, this is something that I would see on old rental properties, particularly like in New England, where people don't stay on the shore, like Cape Cod. They're not there the whole time. They'll plant these because when they're there for the season, they're blooming. The rest of the winter is horrible and wretched. These don't die. I see these mixed in with hydrangeas up in those areas too, which is a good companion for these. But again, I want to show you how they ship.
This is incredible.
Because this is really impressive.
And I have to also say, remember, this is Cottage Farms, the grower's grower. This is the nursery that's shipping direct to you. It's not going to the other nurseries and the landscape places. It's going direct to you. They package these plants so beautifully and they protect them when they arrive. I've always been impressed the way that they're packed.
They're guaranteed for a full year. Both colors are in each pot. So you're actually getting 4 rows of Sharon plants, 2 in each pot. This is really fantastic, and we designed it. It's part of our Dazzling design.
Wait. 1,500 gone. 700 of you on the phone lines. Okay, I'm going to ask a crazy Jackie question.
Ask me.
There's 2 in each pot.
Yes.
And we can see it right there, okay, the way that they're coming to you. So there's 2. Do you see the 2 stems? What if I were to take this out of the pot and separate the 2?
They're very easy to separate.
So then I could actually have one thing that's one color, one that's another. I could stagger them, or you plant them together to get this.
They're easy to do that, but I've done this design.
I am a mad scientist.
And if you mess up my design, there's going to be trouble. There will be mud wrestling involved.
With you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm already scared of this. She-Ra has stepped up to the plate.
That would be so fun. No, I'm just thinking, I just think about those kind of things. I'm like, somebody's going to separate these. But this was done so that you would already have this design.
Right, exactly.
What a beautiful idea.
And you don't see these varieties out there that often, and we have married them together. If you bought the 2 varieties separately and planted them side by side, you still wouldn't get this look. One side would be one color, one side would be the other. The trick is to get them when they're very young, plant them tightly together so the branches do like this.
So it looks like one beautiful plant.
It's a matrix of color, evenly distributed, that give you this flower arrangement look.
And you know what? This looks, exactly, it looks as if Barbara King came along and arranged flowers for you.
And she's pretty darn good.
Yeah, Barbara King's just slightly good.
Oh, she made the blueberry cobbler, by the way.
Barbara.
Yeah, we love our Barbara.
Love you, Barbara.
Yes.
I needed to, you know what? I wish I could take Grace over to see Duke over with Barbara.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
Yeah, exactly. Valley Forge flowers, place to be.
Grace would knock it all down. This is what you get, a beautiful opportunity, only quantities of the season, 2 rows of Sharon, and in each one you're getting 2 beautiful colors. So once again, if somebody's new and they don't know how to garden, or they're newer to it, or they're just starting out, where should we plant them? How do we care for them? What do we do?
Well, plant them in full sun to part shade. You can plant them in containers or in the ground. I use these on my gardens in Connecticut. I plant them behind my perennial border because it gives a fabulous backdrop behind the perennial border. When you're undoing them, what I do is I untangle the roots slightly, which encourages them to move into the surrounding soil.
That's a good question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I always untangle lightly. I've seen people who take a knife and cut right through them.
You can do that.
Does that, it doesn't harm them to do that?
No, it's fine.
I just loosen it with my fingers.
Yeah, but that's fine. You take the gentle approach, but either way it would be fine. But back to where I have mine are behind the perennial borders because, as I mentioned, I like to make the tapestry borders. And for years, when I first started my business, I would plant, I'd plant this kind of shrub and that kind of shrub, flowering shrubs. And this one would bloom for a little while, then this one would take over. But there was always a gap where something wasn't blooming. Then I saw these and I thought, why don't I just plant this and nothing else in the shrub border? Because these bloom all summer long. They don't quit. I hate a quitter, by the way, and these never let me down because I don't have to get out there and spray. I don't like using chemicals in my garden.
I never said I was going to quit in the mud wrestling. You're the one who challenged.
I'm afraid you wouldn't quit, and there I'd be crying over in the corner. It'd be so sad. You'd want to plant a weeping willow for me.
Wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Esmeralda in Indiana, I know she's going to be on Philip's side. Hi, Esmeralda. I'm Jacque, and this is Philip. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Esmeralda, I need some help. She's a big bully today.
We're just going to be mud wrestling, that's all.
No, I can't. I have to be with Jacque.
Oh, no.
Team Jacque.
Oh, my gosh.
We may have a new program on our hands.
I'm getting scared. Well,
so
honey,
Esmeralda, you're going to have to be my tag team partner. You're going to have to come here, and then we're tag team, okay?
Yes, yay.
Oh, Lord. All right, I'm withholding the flowers. I'm withholding them.
No, you are
I'm in
not.
control of them.
No, you're not. Okay. So
Do you like these, sweetheart?
I love them. They are so beautiful. So this is my one big question.
Yes.
Can I really grow them in pots?
Yes, you can really grow them in pots, but in your area, Esmeralda, I would grow them in a whiskey barrel size container.
Larger?
And I would put one in each whiskey barrel because these will get sizable, and then I mulch it with shredded mulch in the wintertime. I've used these in pots on the top of tall buildings in Manhattan where there was lots of wind, and I didn't have any problem.
So this pot that we're showing down here is way too small, so do a whiskey barrel for your size.
Whiskey barrel,
so they can grow nice and large.
Okay, so a whiskey barrel with mulch at the bottom then.
Mulch on the top of the soil. Exactly.
Okay, mulch at the top.
Yeah.
Right. They're very easy. These are tough. You will not have a flowering shrub that gives you fewer problems than this one because it doesn't give you any.
Put your mulch right in here on top of the whiskey barrel so that
Right.
you'll have it nice and covered and protected.
Okay, so literally, so I put them in, and then the mulch goes like on the top right there, the soil, right?
Yes.
That's on the top of the soil, exactly. And then you water it in really well. I fertilize mine every 2 to 3 weeks. And have you ever had Rose of Sharon or seen them before?
No.
They're so pretty.
They're in the hibiscus family, Esmeralda, except they're really tough. It's the lowest maintenance of all the woody hibiscus because this is a shrub to a small tree. And they're tough as nails. My grandmother had them. She had the lavender ones. But these are the fancy pants version, but with no fancy pants instructions. They're really easy. You know?
That's good. That's a good one.
Okay, so Jacque, we could do this, right?
Absolutely. Queen Esmeralda and Princess Jacque going against Philip Watson in the mud pit.
I'm going to start running in a minute.
Okay, Esmeralda, you better come on my Facebook page, Jacque Gonzales QVC, and come say hi to me and to Philip as well so we can tell him who he's going to be facing off against.
I will.
Exactly.
Come say
You can
hi.
put a raw steak on my black eye.
Oh, you poor baby. Thank you, Esmeralda. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you so much. Philip, keep doing what you're doing, though, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate your call.
Thanks, Esmeralda.
Okay.
I'll be looking for you. I'll looking for your message on Facebook. Okay, let's tell everybody how many we have left. We brought in 5,000.
Yeah.
1,800 remaining, brand new today, only quantities that we have to go around for this season. I'm already thinking that I'm going to need to get 2 orders of these probably, because I'm trying to space it out in my head right now. These are absolutely gorgeous because, like, so if we're spacing it out in the ground, how far apart should we space them?
I plant mine